Good afternoon, I'm Mr. H. Thank you for joining me. In this video, we're validating and understanding a bunch of trigonometric identities, 3 of those. These are in line with the special trigonometric integral videos I have presented and 2 which are about to be presented. They are very well involved with those 3 trigonometric integral videos that are on the way or that are already out. And let's look at these. If you had to look at something like this, sine 3x and cosine, let's just say 7x, and someone told you to simplify this, how would you do this? You know you're looking at a product of 2 functions, but they're composite functions and they're difficult to proceed with. You're really looking at something which looks like this, sine A cosine B, where this right here is A 3x and B is 7x. There's a specific template out there for which you can utilize to do these type of questions, and we will show you that. But understand this, when you're looking at something which is half, and then you have something here, sine A minus B plus sine A plus B, and you apply this and you open this up using the difference and the sum formulas for sine, you very well develop the template which is for this, and that's exactly what you're seeing before you. We're validating this to be the template. If you have to solve something which looks like this, its template is this. But let me validate this for you, meaning let me verify this for you. If you have a 1 or 2 sitting outside, do the sine difference formula. You'll have a sine A cosine B, then you'll have a minus sine B cosine A, and then you're here at this plus sign, then you do the sum formula. You'll here have a sine A cosine B, and then you'll have a plus sine B cosine A. When you're doing this, and if you do it properly, look what will happen. This minus sine B cosine A will cancel out. You'll have this 1 or 2 sitting outside, and these 2 items will add. You'll have a 2 sine A cosine B, and these 2's cancel out. You end up seeing exactly what you started with, sine A cosine B, in terms of the expression which needs to be simplified. So if you see anything which looks like this, a product, you utilize this sum formula. So you're going from a product to a sum. Technically, it's all of these formulas are called product to sum, and some put in the difference, but look at it this way, A plus B is a sum. If you started with AB and you went to this, you're going from a product to a sum. But if you're going from AB to A minus B, you can say this right here is a difference, but this is also a sum. You're going from a product to a sum if you were to rewrite it as this. You see how a minus can be written as a sum? So technically, the 3 formulas, identities I'm showing you in this video are called product to sum. But if you want to be a little bit more clear, some are product to sum and some are product to difference. But this right here is the first template you need to be aware of. Anything which looks like sine A cosine B, this here is your way of doing it. So let's look at this question, sine 3x cosine 4x. You'll have 1 over 2, then you'll do sine A minus B, which is sine of 3x minus 7x. That would be a sine of a minus 4x, and then you'll do plus sine of a plus B, which would be here a sine of a 10x. If you know the sine to be an odd function, you're really looking at 1 over 2 minus sine 4x plus sine 10x, and you can open all of this up. You'll have sine 10x minus sine 4x over 2, and that right there could be a reasonable answer utilized from this specific template over here. You see how we flipped everything around? Because this became a minus, I just wrote the positive item first. But this here is the very first template you need to be aware of. There are 2 more to show, but if you see something like this, you want to be thinking about this. Now imagine you saw something which looked like this, sine 3x and sine 2x. How would you go about doing that? Well, you are here looking at something which looks like this, sine A, sine B. So there has to be a template out there to solve this type, and there is. It's really a product to a difference template, but you can say product to a sum. The template is this, 1 over 2, you'll have a cosine A minus B minus cosine A plus B, hence the product to a difference. But remember, this difference can be written like this, so it can still be viewed as a positive with a product to a sum, but for clarity reasons you can say product to a difference formula. If you want to reconcile this, you can. You have 1 over 2 and you do the difference and the sum formulas for cosine. Here you'll have a cosine A cosine B, with the minus you develop a positive, then you'll have a sine A sine B. Now you have a minus, then do the sum formula for cosine. You'll have a cosine A cosine B, then with a positive you bring in a minus, sine A and sine B. When you open up all of this, you'll have 1 over 2. Here you'll have a cosine A cosine B plus sine A sine B minus cosine A cosine B plus, see the minus has become plus, you'll have a sine A, sine B. What can cancel out? This right here can easily cancel out. These two items add up. You'll have 2 sine A, sine B divided by 2, which gives you exactly what you have, sine A, sine B. So it verifies and it validates that this template is good. Anytime you have something which looks like sine A, sine B, you want to utilize that template, and it wouldn't be a bad idea to do so. So if you're looking at this sine 3x, sine 2x, well, let's look at it. What would it be? You'll do 1 over 2 cosine A minus B, which would be cosine of x. Then you have a minus cosine A plus B, cosine of 5x, and then you can open up everything. You'll have a cosine x minus cosine 5x over 2. That can be a very simplified answer for something which looks like that, and that's exactly how you would utilize this product to difference template, or if you want to call it product to sum template, you can, nothing wrong with that. So this right here is the second form that you need to be aware of. Let's look at the third and the last one. Imagine you have something which looks like this, cosine 4x, cosine 3x. Here you're seeing the product of cosine functions. How can you handle it? Well, there is a good product to sum template, and I will show it to you. It's really this, cosine A, cosine B. That's what you have, and that's what you need to aim towards in terms of a template. You'll have right here 1 over 2 cosine A minus B, but here in contrast to the previous identity we showed you, here's a positive cosine A plus B, and that right there is exactly what you would utilize. You can reconcile that, bring the 1 over 2 out and apply the difference and the sum formulas for cosine. You'll have a cosine A, cosine B, but with the difference here you bring in a plus. Sine A, sine B, then you have a plus. Here with the sum formula for cosine, you bring in the difference with regards to the sine components. Cosine A, cosine B minus sine A, sine B, and the common terms are these. These two cancel out. You'll have 2 cosine A, cosine B divided by 2, but the 2's will cancel out. You'll have cosine A, cosine B. So it verifies and it validates that this template over here is good for that. So when you're seeing something which looks like this, you want to be thinking about this product to sum template, cosine A minus B plus cosine A plus B multiplied by 1 over 2, and it's not a bad one. So when you're looking at something like this, you have a 1 over 2, you're looking at a cosine of A minus B, which would be a cosine x. Then you're looking here at a plus cosine A plus B, which would be cosine 7x. You can open it up. You'll have a cosine x plus cosine 7x all over 2, and that right there would be a modified answer for this. Some people would take this even further, but opening that up and dealing with that would be very difficult. It would be very cumbersome, and you can just fall right to that answer right there. So all the 3 identities I've shown you, they're good identities. You know, one had to do something with sine A, cosine B, which led to a sum formula. The other one had something to do with sine A, sine B, which led to the product to difference identity. And then lastly, we saw this one right here, cosine A, cosine B, which you have right here, the product to the sum. This goes from a product to a sum, this goes from a product to a difference, which technically is still a sum, and this product to a sum. And these are the 3 identities you need to be aware of. I've recently published a video right before this, trigonometric integral of this form. I'm also presenting trigonometric integral videos of these forms, and they all utilize these 3 templates you have seen. So all of these with regards to these type of integral forms are very important, and you should know how to do those. Hence you should know these templates, and hence the material in this video is relevant. That's about all I want to present you in this video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.